Hi guys, it's been a while, and for this video, I'm going to be rewriting characters in Yandere Simulator, and also addressing some of the issues and differences between rewriting and redesigning, and why I want to rewrite compared to redesign. Yandere Simulator didn't really have a plot because the climax, like Ayano confessing to Taro at the cherry blossom tree, that might have been considered a climax, but like, since Yandere Dev isn't the best writer, I mean, come on, AI writes better than that shit, but, so yeah, I'll be creating a plot that goes along with the non-existent plot, and it's just so dysfunctional, I don't want to fully fix it, but this also touches on another thing I want to talk about. Like, if you're somehow inspired by my ideas, even if it's not Yandere Simulator related, you can always like use my rewritten, just anything that inspires you here. Like, I won't force you to credit me. Like, if you want to credit me, then that's really sweet. Thank you, but like, I don't really care, because usually when people just ask to be credited, then there's a lot of drama and some people might get canceled, and I don't want to get into that because, one, I'm a really small YouTuber and I don't want to become popular for stuff like that. Two, I get it that for some things, like really personal things, you'd want to like have your like copyright, and you want people to credit you for it because it's like fully your own thing. But considering that this is like from Yandere Dev, the shithead, and I'm just rewriting it because he can't fix up his own messes, and he still decides to be on the internet, which is really unhealthy for everyone in the situation. I think it's just better for us if you get inspired and then you just do the thing. I don't care whatsoever. I'm not liable for if you get canceled anyways. So, now that's off my chest. I want to talk about redesigning versus rewriting. It sounds pretty obvious. Like, rewriting is just like changing the writing to how you see fit and just making it better within like the principles of writing. And then redesigning is more like in the character designs, as you've seen many people do. I think there's been very few people who attempted to rewrite plot because there's no plot at all. Like, at least the eyes can make a plot. So the main things I want to focus on in my rewrite is character interaction, like their relationships versus relationship status. Like, Yandere Dev just focused on, these are the rivals who are pining for Senpai's attention, and then Ayano's also pining for Senpai's attention, but like behind the scenes and like killing everybody that gets near Taro. And then Taro's just oblivious and he's boring, but we'll fix that. The thing is, because my biggest problem with redesigns is that they focus more on the design, but I get it, because like they want to focus more on like the colors and the outfits and their personality rather than like go deep down into like what's their motivation for living. That's the sort of things I think about, because wait. This is not about me. This is just about me laying out my shitty ideas for a shitty game that we somehow liked, because we even made a whole inside joke about it if you're an OG on this channel, and my friends' channels, you know, like my recommended channels, and they're my friends. Who you should really subscribe to, by the way. Getting back on track, I want to like have a disclaimer that these ideas may be more complex, like more abstract than the ideas of like a normal Yandere game, in a way where like my mind's just going really fast, and then I end up saying more than what I could have had in like one word. But here's one word for you: cynic. Taro Yamada is now a cynic. Look, this dude cares about the law. Most students at the school don't care about the law. They just create their own laws. So Taro here is just like, yeah, if we just ignore society, then I can create my own law that's actually right this time, instead of people bullying other people because they're a nerd or something.
Would you please stop doing
that? I'm just gonna mind my business, reading this book, and I hope nobody bothers me. So, as you can tell, he was bothered. Very bothered, in fact. So, all these girls found him attractive in some way. And for my rewrite of the Yandere Simulator story,
They'll all have their own
Why do you have so much
reasons
blood on you?
for liking
Did you hurt
senpai,
somebody?
but most of them are superficial or unfounded. So before tackling senpai, let's tackle the rivals. And most importantly, let's tackle Osana first. So, how I've written Osana, I didn't want to add much because, like, you know, the inside joke, and we all inherently hate her because she's horrible. So, I just made her have a very superficial motive in life, which is to, like, live a right life. To have that stereotypical life, like 9 to 5, but not work super hard, and then, like, cook for your husband, and then have kids, and have a big house, and all that jazz. And she's very lazy of a person, because she feels like she needs to live up to these expectations. Very unrealistic, might I add. So she finds a comfort in Taro, her childhood best friend, and he can do everything for her so that she can just, like, live a right life and not worry about anything, because she just has a bunch of distortion in her mind and probably needs to go to mental help. But she'll refuse it because she'll say she's fine, but she's not fine because she's a horrible person, and we'll prove it in a bunch of ways. So enough about this bitch. So let's talk about how Taro feels about all this. And ever since Taro was young, he always knew about all the illegal dealings of other people and could be like 3 steps ahead of them. But he did nothing to stop it because he thought that he couldn't stop it. And he thought that he could stop it if he just lived by himself, if he just ignored other people, if he just was boring at the plaza reading his book, probably about ethics. I don't know, maybe some guy writing about ethics, but he was hypocritical because he broke a bunch of laws actually, so that's what might be in that book of emo. Further, we have to just find reason for Taro's cognition. Why would he let Osana force herself onto him and always be bratty about everything? So, in order for his his moral mindset to work, very distorted as well, he believes that he has to be gentlemanly, even to horrible people. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna be safe, even though Sana is planning to hurt me and use her and abuse me. I'm gonna just stick with it, and then I'll back out later, and then it won't hurt her feelings, and then I won't be a bad guy, because he really desperately doesn't want to see himself as a bad guy, or else it will ruin his mental image of everything he's ever known. And he's probably gonna have a breakdown, like Ayano does. Whenever Taro outright just in the, like, plain freaking day just says, oh, I don't love you, you're a crazy person, get away from me. Which means now we move on to Ayano and her motivations for everything. So, I was quite lazy, if you can't tell. So I just made her motivation horror movies. She's been infatuated with them ever since she was young and is really intrigued by mystery aspects, but, like, wants to know more than just, like, the simple plot devices of it. And I guess we can tie it back to how Ryoba was also a yandere, but I don't really know at this point because I'm really lazy. Also, it's 12 a.m. and I don't know what to do with this video anymore, so I was kind of thinking of throwing it in the trash, but I can't because I have all these ideas and all this storage. I don't really do well in the interactions regard, but I might write a one-off on itch.io sometime. If I do, I'll link it in the description for all of you guys to see. But for those people who are lazy as well, like TLDR or TLDW. Taro would really like enforce his beliefs in everyone, so it could make people feel uncomfortable, especially Osana, because she just wants everything to be easy. So they might have a fight about this in the future, and that's where Senpai has his last straw sometimes. And then Ayano would see this and like, oh, it's killing time. Haha, time to get out my knife. And turn it around and stabby, stab. And guts. And dismembering. And blood and incinerating. And boom, I don't get caught by the popos. Okay. But on a more serious note, I think that Ayano would eventually catch on to Senpai and his obviously distorted beliefs in morality. And like in my version, I kind of want it to be like a visual novel where Ayano could choose, like, will she follow Senpai's beliefs or will she go on her own path? Because that's what inspired her from Senpai anyway, because even though he has this like public hikikomori behavior, she's just really inspired by him making his own path and stuff. And she also wants to do that for herself because she's always cooped up in her room just like fantasizing about horror and not really anything else. So yeah, that's it. For now, at least. If you enjoyed this type of content, then feel free to subscribe or stick around. Peace out.